Hey guys, it is Monday, January 3rd, 2022, and I am with my wife and son. We are at McGee Creek State Park near Atoka, Oklahoma. And we are about to go for a hike on the Potapo Hill Trail Loop. Anyway. Starting out a bit rocky, but this is a short loop. There's other trails we're hoping to investigate while we're here.
See that rock? I'd be liking that rock. Get it? That's lichen. Lichen covers the rock.
Oh, okay, the fungus.
I'd be liking that rock.
And we're still married after all these years. That joke. I don't know, not looking at it. It's fine when I don't look at it. It says about 120. I'm sure it's gone up a bit, since we started going up. So really nice. This is our little accommodations for the night. We're in a lake hut. It doesn't have running water inside of it, so there's no toilet, but we're only about a tenth of a mile down the road to some shared toilets. And there's actually some potable water that runs right out here in front of the building. You walk in, it's actually very nice. It's got bunk beds, it's got storage places, it's got a table. There's a fireplace, more little storage. We set up a cot, but it's actually got a air conditioner heating unit in the wall that we're using it to heat up because it's going to be, it's like in the 40s right now. It's going to be get in the 20s tonight. And then it's got a nice little porch out here that you're overlooking the lake. Really very nice. Okay, so we are now on the Carnasaw Trail, heading to the Rocky Point Trail. And I will say that the Carnasaw Trail, for people that like rocky trails, this is rocky. So I don't know if Rocky Point's going to be rockier, but Carnasaw's pretty rocky itself. But it is pretty out here. Lots of leaves. Lots of rocks. You gotta watch your footing. Okay, we are now on the Rocky Point Trail. And what is kind of cool is they've put barriers of rocks in a lot of strategic places along the edges of the trail to make it easier to stay on the trail. It's pretty nice. Helps you find it, especially with all the leaves. This time of year it's kind of hard to see some of the trail, but with the little rock barriers it makes it a lot easier to follow the trail. Well, it's very pretty out here. We are in the McGee Creek Nature Area trails. This is, like I said, the Rocky Point Trail. Nice hike out here today. I believe we are the only ones on these trails today. I guess it's one of the advantages of being here on a weekday. We're on Tuesday, January 4th, a weekday in the middle of winter. Got the trails all to ourselves. At least so far. It's about, we started at 10 in the morning. It's a little late, little after that now. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's a little bit of a breeze, so it's a little cool, but it's not bad. Texas and Oklahoma have definitely finally getting our first real taste of winter. Yesterday morning it was like 18 degrees. This morning I think it was a little warmer this morning. I think we got up to it being upper 20s or around 30 here in Oklahoma. And I think it was a degree or two warmer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But anyway, these are just very pretty trails. And now we're on a section I could probably actually run on. But we're just out here hiking today. What? Okay, so we are less than a mile in today's hike, and we've already lost the trail. Having a little trouble following it. A real pretty little creek down here. But my wife is telling me she's looking at the map, and we're supposed to be a little bit away from this creek, so. We were following what appeared to be the trail, and there was a tree down across it. So we went around the tree, but now we're having a little trouble picking up the trail again. It looks like it's back up this hill somewhere. It's a little hard following today because I said this trail is very rocky and it's all covered with leaves this time of year. We'll find our way though. If not, this video will never make it to the thing and will be found somewhere on these trails near Atoka, Oklahoma. Well, we got to go that direction in general.
Looks like the red guy got lost too, and he wandered around down here.
Well, it's a little hard in the as rocky as this trail is, and being covered with leaves, it's kind of hard. Okay, my son found the trail up there. It appears. Well, that was a pretty steep downhill and uphill we added. A little out of breath. So one thing since my heart attack is I find I'm having a little bit more trouble with the ups. And on these steep uphills, we're having to be a little careful with all the leaf cover to not slide back down. So we're finding the trail a little bit difficult to follow, but you'll see we're not the first ones. There's a lot of little cairns, as they call them, I think. Stacks of rocks along the route that hikers have put out to help you follow the trail. They're not everywhere, but we are finding them more frequent when we get to the rocky sections where it's a little more difficult to follow. And I'm sure it's a bit more difficult in winter just because of everything's covered with leaves. But it is really pretty out here. It's a pleasant day. I think we're in the low 40s now, Fahrenheit, so probably 5-6 degrees centigrade. We've got my son mostly walking ahead. He's doing most of the trailblazing until he becomes a little confused, and we'll catch up and try to figure it out together. So we've hit another section of the trail that is a lot more pine trees than oak trees, and we have discovered that walking on pine needles is not near as slippery as walking on a bunch of oak leaves. So the footing's a little better through here. I also think it's a little easier to follow the trail. So we're enjoying this section. And it's all been real pretty. Okay, we just changed trails. We're now on the west boundary trail, and this looks like, I don't know if it'll stay that way, but this looks like definitely the widest trail and the easiest to follow so far. It does head back toward the ranger house, the ranger station, so that may be that this is the most developed and easy trail for beginners to do. We've been going a little over 2.5 miles. We are probably going to end up with about a 5-mile hike. If we follow this west boundary trail, we'll get to follow it for a good while, but then we'll get back on eventually that harder to follow Rocky Point Trail and stuff to get back to our car. But this looks really easy to follow right here. Still very pretty in the woods, just a wider trail and not very rocky.